Today I'm going to be discussing Frank Sinatra's life as a whole and his career to his death. Frank Sinatra was born on the 12th of December 1915 to two Italian immigrants named Natalina Dolly Garavanta and Antonio Martino Marty Sinatra. Not much is known about his early life, but we do know that as a teen, Sinatra was inspired by the songs of Bing Crosby to pursue a life of music, particularly singing. Sinatra then joined the singing group the Hoboken Four, in what was considered as the kickstart to Sinatra's career. After his time with the Hoboken Four, Sinatra moved on and was hired by trumpeter Harry James and his newly formed band. Sinatra's 6-month tenure with the James Band landed him 10 commercial recordings with the band, which led the way for Sinatra's rise in the music industry when he received an offer from bandleader Tommy Dorsey in late 1939. Sinatra's first major body of work was with the Dorsey Band, with 83 commercial recordings. By 1942, Sinatra's popularity had spiked, matching that of Dorsey's, and Sinatra then expressed that his desire to go solo, an extremely risky venture considering the success rate of other band singer turned solo singers during those times. After a back and forth with Dorsey, Sinatra finally flew the nest, becoming a cultural phenomenon within weeks. Sinatra's solo recording career with Columbia Records began in late 1944. He then continued to record a plethora of music during his time at Columbia Records, with the only thing to stop him being his career fall-off in 1948 due to his stale music and negative press caused by his involvement in organized crime, also known as the Mafia, leading to a 5-year career slump for Sinatra. Sinatra wasn't only known for his music, however, he was also a massive figurehead in the film industry, starring in musicals in the 1940s and becoming one of the top film stars in the 1950s to 60s, all while still creating tons of music that still managed to top the charts. At that time, with the possible exception of Bing Crosby, no other American had achieved such high success in both music and acting. Truly an impressive feat. In 1953, Sinatra left Columbia Records behind and signed for Capitol Records, who in turn helped Sinatra redesign his sound, completely revamping the way his music sounded, and the public loved it. A defining factor in his new sound was his legendary collaboration with Nelson Riddle, who in Sinatra's own words was the greatest arranger in the world. Sinatra continued his legacy by founding Reprise Records in 1960, and was allowed to record there simultaneously with his Capitol contract. During the early 60s, Sinatra produced music at an amazing pace, releasing 14 albums in the period of 1961 to 63. Although Sinatra is still incredibly popular, his later works during the 60s became increasingly marred by misguided attempts to capture the youth market or by questionable choices of collaborators. The start of the 1970s, Sinatra's music fell out of popularity, mostly due to what was known as the Woodstock generation. In Sinatra's own words, nobody's writing songs for me anymore. Sinatra announced his retirement in 1971, which was shortly lived as he came out of retirement in 1973. Of his last 2 decades of being a music artist, he only released 7 albums, planning his projects carefully and took things slow. Sinatra's voice also became gritty and coarse, but of course that still didn't stop him from creating music. Sinatra's final public performance was in 1995, his old age finally catching up to him, rendering him unable to continue being a musician. Sinatra suffered 2 heart attacks and died in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on the 14th of May, 1998, aged 82. In my opinion, this is one of the most impressive careers you could have. To manage to balance music and acting during the career slump of your life, and manage to top the charts as well. Truly an impressive man. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.